Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the MI podcast. So, this is another very interesting episode because I've covered quite a bit in influencer marketing, but this is a kind of a field where the deeper you get into it, you get out more things. And in terms of there's a lot of interest from everywhere. Firstly, mainstream because you see so many influencer campaigns. We all have our favorite influencers. They could be in different scale, having a huge following like a celebrity influencer or somebody where we have a personal connect and a very small loyal audience. Those are generally called nano influencers. So the association between an influencer and marketers, I would say specifically within India in the last 10 years has grown quite a lot. Today we've reached the scale that obviously we know it's a $1 billion industry. Within India also influencer marketing campaigns, you have dedicated platforms, you have dedicated agencies which are doing even better than mainstream agencies that are there. So over the last 5 years there have been a lot of success stories. Many influencers also have started their own like an influencer marketing company also. I've seen in such cases. So this is a very interesting field. Every other the Gen Z person wants to become a content creator in a space, and then obviously when you want to take it up professionally, you have to know how to kind of look at campaigns, look at the marketers, what kind of brand deals you can do, what kind of so that you sustain that interest from the public. It's not like it seems that your content is getting compromised for the brand deals that you're doing. So today to discuss this, I have with me Sweta Singh. Hi Shweta, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Nikhil?
I'm also doing good. So Shweta is a quite an experienced person within the influencer marketing space. So about that space, like what you have worked, where you have worked, what kind of maybe campaigns you have done. Little bit to the audience, if you could tell, that'd be great.
Sure, Nikhil. So I'll start with an introduction about myself. So basically, I feel that destiny brought me into this industry because this was never planned. This was never something that I wanted to pursue as my career. I actually come from an insurance and banking background. I have done my graduation there. But post that, I got into it.
Like, so you did a BCom within?
Yes,
Okay.
I did banking and insurance, which is like a BCom honors field from KC College itself.
That's right.
And after that, I got an internship in a company through my friend. Like she referred me, and hence I got there. And after getting down to that internship, I realized that this is where my interest is, and this is where my skills are being used to the fullest. I enjoy doing this. I like it, and so were the people in the company were reciprocating, and they also could see that okay, I have a potential in this field. And from there, my entire influencer journey started. So that was a small internship I did there for like 3 4 months. After that, I got into this entire field of influencer marketing. Now it's been over approximately 3 years into this field, and I'm still learning. I'm still growing, and this is, as you just said, this is a very vast industry. This goes deeper wherever you try to know it more. So it's been
So like purely influencer marketing is what you've been doing
no,
for 3 years?
not purely. I started with a company which was a wishing platform like True Fans. So
Yeah.
True Fans, you know.
Okay.
So basically, True Fans is something where a fan come and buys a wish from their favorite celebrity
That's
or
right.
influencer or whosoever. So it's
They wish like on the birthday and
Correct.
anniversary
Any
or anything like specifically they want
yes,
to.
any customized
Personal
wish.
wish, yeah.
Yes. So I worked with similar company, and there I was into the onboarding section where I had to onboard celebrities, TV actors. So I worked with every category in this industry, whether it's TV actors, celebrities, A-listers, influencers. So there I had to onboard these celebrities in terms of making these wishes for their fans. So that is where I initially started. Post that, I got into a proper agency which was into influencer marketing. And since then, I have been doing influencer marketing, doing end-to-end campaign executions, servicing the client, and everything about it.
Awesome. So, Shweta, I think we'll just get right within the discussion. So, what was the, like, say, initial when you did that internship, which was into influencer marketing? What kind of attracted you within that field that you kind of now are full time in?
Sure. So as I said that it was through destiny that I got into the field. But later on when I started doing it, I felt that it was effortless. It did not cost me efforts or a hard work. I was enjoying while doing it. And
So like, how was it like effort? Like, it's something like you are a very like a people's person. You like to do interact a lot with people. You could handle people properly. There,
yes,
well, then in the
yes,
influencer marketing artists, there'll be egos and also and different kind of personalities. You have to. They say artists ka thoda personality is up and down moods.
correct.
So you have to have that personality to handle them also.
Correct. So
Yeah.
normally, Nikhil, the case is that influencer marketing is not something these days obviously of courses, but back then
Yeah.
when I started doing
Hmm.
it was not a career which had to, which people were guiding you for. This is
Hmm.
something that you get into and you learn yourself. But
Hmm.
obviously, you need to have certain skill set that will help you, and hence I am saying it was effortless because I had certain skill sets. For example, I am very well versed with communication, with negotiation, with servicing clients, and as you said, I'm a people's person. I like talking to people, and I am able to, have a good conversation, or hold a good conversation. So these were certain skills which helped me to get into this, and to make my entire work a little smooth comparatively.
That's right.
Yes.
Is are these skills generally when have interacted with people who want to be part of this? They say that they feel it's a very simplistic skill, but since like you have a bit of experience now over 3 years, well, can you like shed some light because maybe it's not suited for everyone, and what its perception from outside is different on the back end.
Correct. So it's not actually very difficult. मतलब I would say कि ये बहुत कुछ बड़ा काम भी नहीं है, but कि सबके बस का भी नहीं है. If
That's
I
it.
have to frame it in that
Okay.
sense, because these are obviously very basic skills, but these have to be very polished skills. Like a person who's good with communication cannot be good at communication just with a course of 10 days to learn. You have to be good since the time you have been speaking, since the time you have been into college, school. It starts from there, and hence in the future it gets polished every time. So skills like communication, negotiation. Also, not everyone can negotiate well. Not everyone can convince a brand. Not everyone can service a brand the way it's supposed to be done. So obviously these are not something very different skills, but obviously these are certain things not every individual is blessed with, and obviously they have to be keep polishing every time as per your requirements.
That's right. In communication skills, also, I feel just like certain say, talking a certain language is not enough. It's I've seen this like even when we are working professionally corporate, you feel with certain communications, if that effort is not put in, it comes out that if some person is blunt, you say no, it can put you off. So those are some nuances of the soft skills that you have when you are doing. I have noticed this, and when I'm working with someone also in a corporate in a capacity, it could be like in my team or a client. I notice these things. With a client, obviously, you have to take certain this thing, but when you're working with someone and you have a choice that having association, then you would favor the person who is having those nuances in it, like it is making you feel good also and communicating. It's something like this, as a boss, you should be not rude, firm, but fair.
Correct.
That way. So that
There's actually a very thin line when it comes
yeah.
to having a very professional conversation with a client. Like there are certain things that can go wrong with a client. You would not want to convey it in that manner, but obviously just because of your communication going wrong or being perceived wrong, the things can go wrong for you. But yeah, it's all about experience. You learn with time and you understand how to reciprocate to the client, how to reciprocate to an influencer. I've also learned with time. I was never like a pro in this field, but obviously with time, I also made mistakes. I've also learned, and I think it's an ongoing process of learning for everyone.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, Shweta, how do you set expectations when you have brought the client on board, or it could be just maybe a sales pitch only? How do you kind of set expectations with them? Okay, these are the marketing goals. This is what can be achieved, what cannot be achieved, and generally, how do we kind of execute? What are going to be step by step say process?
Correct. So I think setting right expectations with the client is something very important because if it's not done right, it will cost you later.
Yeah.
Which is a very clear thing that you should have in mind while having a conversation with the client. So, for example, if a client has a certain objective to achieve, for example, it can be brand awareness or lead generation or whatever as per the requirement. So we obviously make it very clear to the client that okay, this is what we can do for you as marketers, as marketers. This is what we should do. This is the platform that we should use, And obviously keeping the budget in mind, because budget is the major factor which drives an entire marketing campaign. If you have a certain budget, we have to plan the entire strategy within the budget. So setting the expectations right, saying that okay, this is what we can do, this is something which will not fit in your budget. You have to be very clear and transparent so that the client later on cannot come up to you and say that okay, this is what you told me, but you did not serve me with that.
That's right.
So being very transparent, honest, and very authentic with the client is the best way to keep.
And also, like, since this is like public work, a lot of things are out there domain you're consuming, that you have to be kind of clarify, because sometimes there is a certain extra costing within it, like when you're executing it, or like that client, you can compare a company, a unicorn companies, say during an influencer marketing campaign, to a company which is like just say starting out or startup or doesn't have much of a marketing budget. There is that difference, because they can be those you have that expectation is there because out in the media.
Correct.
But it's actually not possible in the person's case.
Correct. So it's actually hence we are here in the market. We are here to make things clear and understand to a brand, whereas an influencer, that whatever you see outside is not the case in reality. If you see a certain thing is being done, you need to get down to the ground root to see, what cost it takes, how it's done. Because the entire back end is something that no one sees. You only see the result. So
That's right.
when a brand comes up to us saying that, oh, we want to do a brand campaign like that brand, or this is how it happened. They majorly show us videos of certain brand doing certain things. But we have to set the expectations right. We have to clear all the confusions for them that okay, this worked for that brand, but might not work for you. Or obviously, if you want to do it, you don't have the budgets for the same thing. So I think all that clear communication is the key for everything.
That's right.
Yes.
How do we go about it in terms of like when you are executing? So one very simplistic I see where say a reel is made about the influencers just talking about the product. There'll be a kind of a mini review, unboxing, or a mini vlog taking us through the experience with the product or service. So I think those are basic, like on the camera of the influencer, it's only shot and all. But going say beyond that, what are other kind of campaigns where there is certain production aspect also involved, and maybe you have worked on something and you can like talk like in general how do you kind of design the whole thing?
So in today's time, there are actually a lot of things that are going in terms of creativity. Like initially, there were very limited things that the creator used to do, like you said, unboxing, giving reviews of the product. But today, creators are going so creative when it comes to promoting a brand. I've seen creators going out of their way and playing characters which are liked by the audiences, which touches their mind somewhere. Gets so there's a creator called Dharna. She has grown tremendous in terms of influence. So, the way she promotes product. And it's very organic. Like whenever you see her promoting a product, you won't feel that she's promoting it for the sake of doing it. So that organic and that natural touch when you.
But it is a paid promotion.
It is a paid promotion.
Okay.
But
and she's in which space?
She is a entertainment creator overall.
General reels and
and but I've seen her grow because I worked with her long back when she was in her growing career, and now she is the one who every brand wants to work with because the way she put across your brand to the audience is something that every brand wants. It's very organic. It doesn't feel like it's forcefully being integrated into the content. And audience also likes it. But I, as a consumer of her content, I can also say that it's very organic and it's very eye-pleasing when I see it. So I think today's time, every influencer is being very creative, going out of their way to do things for the brand. Like I've seen bag brand, like these bags which are trolley bags. Normally, initially, like earlier, people used to just make very random videos of these and just to static
pictures.
But now I have seen Bubbles video for a brand which I would not like to name. It was so creative in terms of it was short, it was delivered. So I feel it is a very tough competition when it comes to creativity and in terms of brand collaboration. Hence, I feel it's a competition on both the ways. Influencers also because every now and then there are creative influencers coming in. The creativity that they're throwing in the market is very difficult to match for everybody.
That's
so that is.
I also know like if you take like on the like a mainstream, when you see Shah Rukh when he's endorsing something, you see that extra effort that he puts in. Like even if it could be like just a normal video where he's just talking about it one on one, to obviously those high production ads and all that they make.
Yes.
He puts in that extra. I'm sure there is some creative inputs also happening, and he is collaborating with that director or whichever the campaign team that is there. So
Yes.
he is kind of like, for I think an emerging influencer, even is getting into the space of these paid collaborations. I think Shah Rukh's content, what do you feel should you look at in terms of the whatever ads and all that he does
Correct. Correct.
as a reference point for this?
Definitely. I mean, it's all about you getting involved in your own.
Yeah,
Some people just do it for the sake of doing it, but other people who actually put in their creative thoughts into
yeah,
it. Although the Shadow don't need anyone to,
yeah,
he can be just going and doing things that is being told. But
yeah.
if he's giving his feedbacks or being creatively involved in the process, he will also enjoy it. And
Hmm.
it's very important for a creator or a celebrity to give their thought process, because normally what happens, normally brand gives us a brief or how it's to be shot, what script to be followed. But if you feel this will not work for your audience, you
Hmm.
have to voice it out. Because brands in today's time do understand, and they are understanding enough in terms of what creative freedoms a creator or a celebrity needs.
Hmm.
Because eventually it's their audience who is going to see it, so they understand their audience better than anyone else.
Hmm.
So hence it's important to get creatively involved in the process, to give feedbacks. If you think something is not going to work, be very open and honest about it. That, see, I don't think this is
Hmm.
going to work for my creator or for my audience, hence I would like to do it in a different way.
That's right.
So that's
And I feel like, say, the people who are in this space, like if you're a content creator, you're directly interacting with your audience on a regular basis. Even an actor is kind of doing the same thing. If you are from that field, then you will have better level of inputs compared to a person just shooting, maybe starting, or many people are kind of new in that space who are actually shooting it, or just the marketing guys making, say, the script, or he's collaborating on what is be said, you're integrating features, USPs and all. So when they get those, they're putting in the efforts, the output will be better, and that will again, then you put yourself in a better position for more brands.
Correct.
Because if the ad is doing well, obviously it has an impact on the brand itself. So yeah, I mean, for an emerging influencer, they have to put in, where do you stand out even in the ad content that you have.
Correct.
Ad content, as in, I mean, the obviously paid collaborations of the skits and all these things. Yeah. I think, don't you think that was the reason why now when you see certain brands, they are, bringing on like they'll have like an episode, you'll feel it's from the influencers channel only. Like for example, what say Netflix does with, say, a stand-up comedian, and they are reviewing a certain. So it is like a part of what they're doing naturally only, but it's obviously it's coming on the brand's channel. So what do you feel about these kind of collaborations? We're getting really good free hand to influencer in like creating that particular output.
I guess this is actually something that is working for a lot of brands.
Mm.
So this is basically a long-term association with an influencer, wherein they create IPs, which is episodic series,
Mm.
wherein instead of just putting one video out there, you put multiple videos in connection to each other. Like it's an episodic series, which will also get registered in the fans' mind or the influencer audience's mind, which will obviously organically also promote your brand or product, whatever it is needed. So this is obviously a way that brand signs an influencer with a long-term association. It benefits the brand also because it costs comparatively in a better way. As well as the influencer is also able to get a better deal.
It is like kind of what they are doing regularly. So, for example,
Correct.
if Tanmay, but he is kind of regularly, maybe say talking about movies or something. So they are just giving the reaction. It's like a reaction video ka series you created, and Netflix is doing it obviously because when you see the content, there's more likelihood then you'll go and
Correct.
see that movie. If you have a certain travel vlogger, and I think there was something where there was I think it was an automobile company, so they had some newly launched SUV. So they did a like a travel series with that guy, and
Correct.
beautifully shot. Like I think 5 6 episodes, and they went to 6 different cities and they shot the.
See, this is the creativity I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like brands, influencers, everyone's putting in effort in terms of when it comes to creativity. Instead of normally what used to come if it's in a brand launch or in a or any car launch, it just normally happens in a mall showroom in the middle of nowhere where celebrities come. But something like this that you're making a
general, then you'll have interview,
Correct.
you'll have a bit of that interaction. So it's kind of now if when you see that content also in your social media, you would skip it. There is no interest generated in that.
Exactly. So even like the audience is very smart these days. They also don't see anything and everything. They also know what is what. I can like every audience in today's time can very easily say can very easily tell which is a paid collaboration, which is not, even though you don't put a paid collaboration tag. So audience is very smart. Hence you have to think from their perspective also that okay, the audience is smart, so I have to plan it in a way that it works for them as well.
That's it. So there's some value that has to be. That is the underlining.
Correct.
Like now they even say marketing content that you have to educate, entertain, or inform.
Correct.
Something or the other, you should pick the boss. Now when it looks like the person is talking about the USP feature or uske around ही कहीं बात हो रही है and very intrusive, maybe highlighting when it's not required, then it's kind of audience is switching off from that because it's the world we live in. Like it's becoming more like what is I want to talk about, what I want to see, only what is beneficial. So when you align with that value is given. As marketers, we have to kind of cater content accordingly.
Yes.
Shweta, in terms of let's say the process, like you as an influencer marketer, when you are shortlisting influencers, so we'll maybe talk about the layers of influencer and how do you kind of shortlist. So this is something for influencers also, like how you be kind of discovered by the agencies or the talent management companies and all. Because maybe you have a certain kind of niche audience, so you are not getting that much following, but that niche audience, maybe you can get good deals with that within your domain. So how do you like say when you're talking about nano influencers and how the process you follow, say okay to get a shortlist for them?
Okay, so majorly the shortlisting of influencer depends upon the brief of the brand. So we get a brief from the brand wherein they give us expectations or what is the budget, what is the target audience they're looking to hit, what is the platform, what is the follower range, if it's micro, nano, mega, everything comes from the brand. Normally,
but in general also you must be looking out for them, not like because then by the time you get the campaign maybe it's a bit late to go with, then you look at earlier जो shortlisted है already आपके.
No, we have to plan it from the scratch. We plan an entire influencer plan.
Okay.
Like as an agency, we get a brief from the brand. We get a very general brief. Okay, this is the budget. This is the normally कभी-कभी तो they don't even tell us कि कितना follower चाहिए. This is the budget. Whatever you can give us. Today's time, as I said, brands are very open. They tell us, okay, you give me a strategy, who you want to do, how you want to do, and how will it benefit. That's something that they tell us. Now it's on us to give them a proper customized influencer plan. Now there, when we as an agency, we have to adhere to the brand guidelines, the brand brief. Suppose if a brand wants to hit target audience of 25 plus, and a category, if they say category is open, like any category would work. And I have to do it on Instagram. So I will have to go and search for creators and I have to search for their insights. So basically now there are tools available on social media which can help you get a creator's insights, in which you will get to know if majority of the audience is lying in the age of 25 plus. If it is, then it's the right fit for my brand. Similarly, there are brands which gives us various criteria out of which we are able to select or pitch influencers. For example, if they tell us that we want a creator who have a male heavy audience or who have a female heavy audience. Now again we have to get into the insights. So it's a
so those I think there are certain platforms where the influencers to go. They have to create the account and they have to link their Insta.
Normally, creators have this insights with them.
Yeah.
But we have to give like 10,000 influencers. So we have to go on a platform Like there are platforms like Social Blade is there. There are multiple platforms which give you insights. But creators have this insights with themselves. Like if they have settings, they go in the insights, they will have access to their insights. So they can also figure this out. That
But what transparency नहीं रहता ना, like if as a marketer I am seeing on the platform because he's linking his
Correct.
this thing, so I have everything, plus I can directly look by filtering कि you are saying male audience say
Correct.
25 to 30 and so interest talking about this ऐसे करके you can come down to filtering, so that is the benefit, and he can get discovered faster when he's on that particular platform. That's right.
So yeah, I mean these are certain factors like budgets are the one. Like if there are restricted budget, I cannot take an influencer who's charging over and above that. So budgets is one thing. Then there is some statistics that the brand has to follow. If they want to do it on YouTube, then not every creator is present on YouTube. So all these factors play an important role in terms of shortlisting.
In the nano influencers, what you would suggest? Like, should they directly go to the prospective companies and kind of pitch key I'm in this zone, because there's less likelihood of them getting being pushed also by agencies and all that, because maybe itna level of commission and that is not there. What do you would actually like suggest to them?
Super nano influencers, obviously now they are at a growing pace.
Yeah.
So most importantly is to know what other big creators are doing, to learn from them, to learn from the trends, and obviously keep approaching brands. That's the major thing. Like,
so they should
keep approaching brands. If they think that okay, if I'm an influencer who can be right fit for a certain brand, why do it? Just DM on me of the brand saying that hey, I feel that I can promote your brand and I have so many followers.
Yeah, approach like the marketing department person in that company.
So you don't have to wait for an agency because an nano influencer will not be approached by an agency, because the agency, I mean, not everyone would think like that, but you have to be your own. You have to help your own self. Go approach the brand. Obviously, you won't get reward one day, second day, but a day when you have a good requirement, if they think that because we feel that the nano influencers don't, but I have seen nano influencers are the major factor when it comes to amplifying a content.
Yeah.
Like if I have to amplify a celeb's content or a brand film, I will obviously take a bulk of nano influencers. So I would suggest for nano influencers, if you think you can promote a brand very nicely, if you think you're the right fit for the brand or for their audience, please go ahead, pitch the brand, DM on Instagram, email them, try everything. If you feel some agencies connected.
Agencies also.
Correct. Yeah. You can there are a lot of groups today in today's time on social media which gives you a lot of information who's doing what campaign. You can get to know okay, this campaign is done by so and so agency. You go and approach the agency or someone from the agency telling that hey, I would like to do this campaign. Let me know if I can
That is my media kit in general.
Correct. So you have to help your own self, and obviously. Having conversation, making multiple connections in the industry is very important. You have to socialize, you have to come across people, you have to keep making connects, which will help you eventually. Because if you are being known, if you are being recognized, is when people will come back to you and they will know, okay, so I have an influencer in mind, I can take him or her in the campaign.
Yes.
So for that,
that I think hustle has to be there along with your art or whatever content you make. That you are connecting with multiple, because maybe at that time it's not that person not going, but somewhere in the back of mind he has your media kit kahin na kahin wo ho sakta hai. So I think there are events also nowadays that connecting of marketing and even content creators. So I think that as an influencer, I think you should look out for that also, physical events where you can come and meet up. And
I think because of lockdown, the events were not happening. But I think now every other day there are some of the other influencer event happening for L'Oreal, for not every brand is doing offline events, because that actually helps to socialize, as well as the brand value also increases, because if you're promoting it offline, an influencer is going there, looking a product and also influencing the audience that is coming offline. So that also has its own presence and own charm to it. So
like for example, certain say nano micro level influence, do you also approach you directly? if there is certain, because they know maybe you're working wherever on LinkedIn, or does that also?
Yes, that happens a lot. I
Yeah.
get a lot of requests, a lot of messages from creators that do let me know if you have a campaign. So obviously, I have those in mind, and this has happened multiple times.
But okay, what is the best way to approach you also? Like if you are in that industry, it should not like sometimes they होता है ना, like transaction, it should not seem that. So how do you feel approach होना चाहिए कि अच्छे तरह communicate, and then obviously when you have something, then you will really favor that person there.
So normally what happens is, like, my experience is that approaching in a professional way, obviously you try and make a friendly relation with anyone, because professionalism is something that obviously if I'm very professional with you, I will not respond to you with post end. But if I have a friendly relation with you, if I have a very urgent campaign that has come up to me at 10 p.m. in the night and I have to find influencers, then I will go to influencers who I have a little better connection. Because अभी को रात में 11 बजे उठ के मैं किसी को भी phone नहीं कर सकती. I have to look out for influencers who will obviously do urgent things for me, who will serve me urgently. So try making good connection with agency people, with everyone actually. Because whosoever you feel can be a good help for you, try making friendly connections. Try being try taking their updates.
That's right. I think initial, you can see that in your approach also today. I think with ChatGPT and all, you can make a good email also. But it should appear. I also felt this key somewhere. When some people, within the content also there, that I can have a short introductory call with you or something that appear. Then कि काम है तभी मुझे approach करो. तो वो थोड़ा लगता है कि ठीक है. Then when obviously going forward, you have built something, you have had certain interaction. वो कहीं ना कहीं वो the person when he shines through उसकी personality, where he is also बोलते ना, like in acting, like you're a producer, actor, something like you are their interest also at your heart. Then it shines through even in that relationship. Then it's फिर वो detached हो जाता है कि if it's very like it feels
you have to make
cold.
certain efforts beyond it.
Yeah.
You cannot, like, every time if you come just to ask work, I will not respond to you every time, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not in our hands. If there's no requirement matching the category where you work, I am helpless.
Plus wavelength भी match. It's something has to be there. You can't be कि ये आ गया वापस like कि वो बेचने आ रहा है अपना मीडिया के, इसको काम नहीं मिल रहा है.
The best way to is you can just take a piece like, hi, how are you? How have you been doing? You can wish them on festivals. These
something like on in the industry, if there's some good article or something, you share it, or some update, certain report.
Correct. You share your content. Hey, this is what I made recently. This is something that I did.
Something useful for you.
Correct. You can please pass it on to your people, the brands. So all these efforts, if you take it for yourself, it will.
Or personalize होना चाहिए. I feel I would give advice to any influencers, like, because as a marketer, and also I feel कि then WhatsApp also some people just circulate it in broadcast list. तो वो personalize नहीं होता. अगर नाम लेके at least आप कुछ उसमें डालो. Personalize.
At least you get to know what is forwarded. So no one even will put in efforts to read the forward.
It's just like suppose I'm a content creator, every other day I'm making a video. I can't keep forwarding all the videos and essays. At least, just say maybe, okay, if I've made, like, I'm forwarding you a video, it will be about, say, influencer marketing. Suppose there is some trends happening, or some certain company ka report aa gaya, or something about the industry. I will forward that content or something I've talked about in that space. So at least it's more kind of personalized in that way. Yeah, that's right. So, Sweta, then what exactly, like, when, okay, we talk about nano and micro, when you're going a little bit higher up, then what, because they are different challenges, because they also have good amount of work and contacts and people are approaching them. Then how do you kind of shortlist and create some current, let's say 100,000 onwards in keep following it. How do you kind of navigate through the relationship with these, I would say macro and good celebrity level also, then above that,
It's actually, obviously everyone these days is getting macro ambitions, because brand space is so huge in today's time that they are in the search to find the right influencers. It's very important to maintain a relationship with the creators. Starting from nano to mega, micro, everyone, because you never know who will help you when. or whenever when there's a requirement for a certain theater. So it's important to build a relationship which will obviously eventually help you. There are times, and in today's time, there are so many agencies fighting for one brand campaign. Like there are multi-agency pitches happening. So in that area, it's very important, and your bond and your relationship plays a vital role. Because if a creator is being managed by a particular agency, that agency will give a similar quote to everyone. But if you have a good relation with the agency or for example, the creator, there the costing matters a lot. If you get like a lower cost than what the other agencies are pitching to the brand, is where you have upper hand. So it's very important to maintain relationships, and it's not even difficult. People say it's very difficult to maintain relationship. No, it's not. You just have to be very friendly. You have to be very approachable to them. You have to be very transparent, accessible, and you have to make the entire, like I have seen campaigns which have went very smooth with my creators, and that normally makes a very good relationship with them. Because I've heard them saying, oh, I have never done such a smooth campaign in my life, that getting approval so easily, doing things so easily. That is very important. Like if you make a campaign that happen very smoothly for them, it automatically will add up to your relation getting better with the creator. So all of these factors are very important that you have to keep in mind while working with them.
That's right. When you have them managers, obviously you are in a celebrity's case, you are dealing with the manager. You have any tips or anything where you are dealing with the managers, like how should that relationship be brought up?
Absolutely. In today's time, I think 80% of the influencers and celebrities have managers or agencies who are managing, because obviously they don't have time to put or look into
So
it.
within the agency also, there's an executive who is
Correct.
looking after the account of that person.
Correct. So there are account managers for influencers even within the agency. So it's more important to maintain a relation with the manager now, because you're directly connected with the manager instead of the influencer. So the same thing applies here. You have to be very transparent, friendly, go have a cup of coffee with the person, be very friendly. So because I feel if you become friends with someone now, there's this thing that where your entire box becomes a little easy. The person will understand you better now. He will, abhi kal ko if he was not ready to help you or give you a lower cost, because of your better relation, he will understand it. Okay, aaj मैं तेरे लिए कर देता हूँ. This happens, and this has happened. When the relation is much better compared to someone else. The creator has done some fuck up, like he's done something wrong or he needs to reshoot. That will not happen now. Reshoot is something that the creator will not do if things have been done right. But just because of better relation, you just request to see our brand is not, approving, we are in a very difficult spot. Just because of that better relation, the person will end up doing it. So it's all about that. If you are in touch with the manager, you have to maintain a good relation with the manager. You have to be friendly, approachable, transparent. And if you're in touch with the creator directly, the same goes with the creator.
That's right. In the media space, I think this is of optimum. This thing how you're managing people at different levels, and I've observed this that there is more of an ease who are working within media compared to other, because they like it's not. I've observed that there is a certain calm in them. Like they don't, because it's a regular thing. You're meeting all kinds of people, different. You'll have good experience, bad experience, and all that. But how do you kind of maintain from that? Don't like lose your cool and deliver under, because there are a lot of stress and pressure also. Like certain, it could be a case where a celebrity doesn't turn up for a certain shoot or something drastic. He's not agreeing with the creative that is there or something. So in that case, like how would you like say if you also the manager and you're hiring, what are the traits that you're looking within that when you're hiring in the influencer marketing? Like we discussed this thing, actually we cannot define it, but these are certain nuances that we get, like how he's dealing pressure. But what are you like other things maybe you're looking at specifically?
So this is an everyday thing, like having problems, challenges in campaigns. Like you said, this recently happened with me when a celebrity did not turn up for an event. But these things are very normal. But if you panic and if you end up, getting scared of it, that what should I do? How should I do it? No. as an
So there
agency,
in that case, what did you do?
exactly, I'm coming to this. So,
Yeah.
in this situation, we have been trained, or we normally get trained, like with experience, like no one taught me. But in this field, you have to always have a solution approach. Like
That's it.
you always have to, if you have a problem, you go to the man, see, boss, I have this problem, but I have also the solution with you. So you have to always go with a brand or to whosoever you want with a solution approach. Now this celebrity did not turn up. It's okay, fine. You cannot help it. You cannot go to
So some launch or something, which
yeah, it was a store visit basically.
Store visit,
Yeah,
okay.
so the celebrity had to come up because to launch the collection
Yeah.
or whatsoever. And obviously the celebrity, she did turn up, but just at the last moment she said that I will not come. I have certain other commitments. Even
important
after
thing.
getting everything logged, everything is
Yeah,
been done.
okay.
Last moment such things happen. But here, obviously, the relationship matters. Now, obviously, if the celebrity was with a certain agency, you go to the agency, you obviously speak to the higher management saying that yes, so and so I'm in a tough spot, I need your help. And you know, everything is done, we are just waiting for the celebrity, and last moment I'm getting to hear this. This is not going to set right for you, me, for no one else. So here also you have to, be very calm and make them understand that whatever you're doing is not right. If you would have said no initially, it would have been fine. But today, when 2 hours before you are telling me that you cannot turn up, is something which is not ethical and professional. So that also.
But we cannot say that directly.
Exactly.
We have to give her, please, no, yes, something like, yeah.
Correct. You have to give it a very professional,
Yeah.
ethical, and friendly approach.
Yes.
So that the other person will also, because if you tell them, nahi, aana hi padega.
Attack nahi
ऐसे
karo.
तो no one will
Oh,
come.
हाँ.
Because that person, you're paying you initially or she will pay you back. कि ना अपना पैसा मुझे नहीं आना. But here in this industry, every connection matters, your image matters.
Exactly.
So you just have to play around with that. You have to maintain your relations, be very calm, request them. See, I can only request you that I will give you future collaborations, or just if everything went well, obviously I will re-approach you for everything or something that.
But is there also then a case where backup होता है कि if there's
normally backups we don't have, but obviously in that situation, if the creator or the celeb would not have turned up, we would have had a backup. Like if there is someone I know very closely who I feel कि 2 घंटे में turn up हो जाएंगे, I will approach them. I will have to do something, right? Obviously, वहाँ पे brand will be a little upset or disappointed because जिसको decide किया था वो नहीं आया, but ठीक है, I will make up for them, or I will give a compensation in terms of commercials or however. Or maybe you never know what if the other person who I sent for replacement can turn up really nice, or can be a very good example or a very good.
And then with that store or brand or thing, वो फिर conversation है कि we have to go for this alternative.
Then there's last, because everyone's waiting. Now you have to do something, but obviously luckily it did not happen. But in case if it happens, we always have to be ready for a solution or for something, because normally when it comes to deliverables, timelines do keep changing, or the timelines getting delayed. Kabhi content time pe nahi aata, there are some emergencies with the influencer. There you can still manage, but in an offline event where everything is being prepped, everything is being set up, you cannot afford this. That you are not being turning up. So there also, if such things happen, you have to be ready with the backup, or you have to be ready to do something there to repent it.
That's right. Event space में भी I think ऐसा है, एक हुआ जैसे it was in the news also, the I think luckily they were having a concert and he only at the last minute issue personal this thing. He couldn't come, and it's like people are coming, and then I think Pratik Kular or something, he had come last minute.
Correct. Yeah,
for
I
this
think I
thing.
heard. I don't exactly know.
In Pune, Zoma Land का कुछ event.
And it was a crowd, he didn't turn up or what?
No, it was a problem. He was performing. So उधर but problem हुआ कि it's like you are coming for the artist. So अभी then you have an alternative, but then they got that gone. But end of the day, it was a last minute thing. Within a day वो आ तो गया जो, and he was also, he's at a decent. You have to see कि क्या वही level पे है.
Like, as we say, when it comes to replacements, you have to give similar and closest replacement. Obviously, you cannot give the same replacement. But like if it's a celeb, you have to give a celeb of that level itself.
Yes.
If it's a creator, if it's a singer, you have to match the replacement to the person who was there before. Because that's the closest you can do. So that's how it goes. Like you have to manage, because if you are doing an event which costs you so much, you cannot end up cancelling it, and that when it have a crowd as well. So all of these things, everyone has to be ready to find an alternative and do something about it.
That's right. Awesome. So, Shweta, very important question. Every other person now you are getting into the content creator space. I think it's the number one career option for people who are in college now, like you, and who are just kind of passing out. Like many have started out their own channels also. I would say 15, 16-year-olds is, I think, the starting point. They would make some or the other channel. I think the common ones are like fitness or lifestyle or general like travel and all, or in general like acting out skits and all in form of reels. So many of them, they also get good amount of traction. They have a good like a quality content, mostly in the entertainment space. How do you feel their approach should be when they obviously they have got some popularity, they are having a connect with the audience, but marketing aspect of it obviously will not be there unless they have somebody in that industry and to guide them. So what would be your suggestion to them, to people who are seeing a good amount of traction, there is a potential of now monetizing it? How do you go about this step by step?
I feel, first of all, everyone, as you said, obviously everyone's looking to get into content creation because the amount of compensation it pays in return of what you deliver is something that you're getting paid for something that you love creating. So
Yeah.
that's something. It's like Sony with Suhaga, that you're being paid for something that you like doing. So that's something that is very fascinating
Yeah.
about this industry.
Your hobby is being converted into a profession now.
You're being paid.
That's because how the industry is moving, it's growing. You're having many smaller brands also coming in and doing campaigns and actually reaching the audience in a better way and having more ROI.
Correct.
Yeah.
So obviously this is one of the very fascinating options. But I feel that there's age. I feel if you're in school and you make a YouTube channel, I feel people start paying more attention. Like children start paying more attention to doing content. I understand that is something, if you like doing, you do it. But if the age is for you to study, you should study. But when you're in college, when you have some free time, you get into it. And if you see that the content that you're making, you're getting good engagement, people are liking you for it, then slowly and gradually, someone or the other will guide you that hey, you will get paid for it.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we as an agency try to find such people who, and we have found such people who are not well aware that you can get paid. There are creators who are making very nice content, getting absolutely amazing engagement, but they are not aware that they can potentially get paid for what they do, and we try to find such creators. So obviously, but we cannot find everyone. We can go for a hunt or for a search and can search or reach to limited audiences.
Yeah.
But when it comes to children's, I feel if they have someone around, and I'm pretty sure they must have learned it from someone, right? If they must have seen their cousins, someone in the family doing it, and hence they picked it up.
Yeah.
So it's better if they approach someone they have seen doing it. Then why did you do it? How are you doing it? And what are you getting out of it? So all of these things, and I think in the later stage today, I think it's so open and out there that okay, this is a career which will pay you. So I feel that awareness is there in today's time that you guys were being paid for this. So I guess that's easy that in today's time the awareness.
But in terms of obviously the youngsters, there's one aspect where you are still a child and then you in adulthood, like, and actually these age groups get the most following.
Correct.
So how do you like, first what would we advise for the, obviously the parents would be looking after certain brand deals or anything. What is your firstly advice for the parents, like in terms of monitoring their content and then monetization of it?
So my advice would be obviously it's a child who's just starting or getting into it. So it's very important for the parents to keep or to guide the child right. That you have to promote products which only or obviously people will definitely not understand. So the parents have to take care that you don't let the kid promote anything and everything because he's a kid. If he's growing, tomorrow he will become very big and successful. But the niche that you're choosing for your child, niche is basically something that you are known for. Like a lifestyle is the niche, tech is a niche. So as a parent, you have to decide a niche for the child there and then. That okay, if my child is good in dancing now, let it be a dancing niche. If he's good with making tech reviews or if he's good with playing tech, depends. I mean, obviously the parents have to figure that out. But it's very important for them to decide a niche for the kid and to obviously make sure that the kid is obviously paying attention to the studies and doing this simultaneously or as a part-time thing and not paying attention just to this because I feel education is also very important because if you're not educated enough to understand or differentiate between because later on you only have to
and also the fame that they are getting, it is like
misled.
yeah, you can get really I mean, carried away with that, basically. So, yeah, as a parent, monetization is a different thing. Like that, you have to obviously maybe have an agency on board, and that will be better because many will not. But parent cannot be pushing these things. Obviously, they start off like how now they're putting the kid only in content themselves, and all that is happening. We can't run away that it is where that's driving people into the industry. But I feel, firstly, the parents should monitor that the content is getting some value. Also, some kids may be creating content on them. There should be some monitoring of that. They should not just create anything. And I think the youngsters, I think, get trained more within the marketing aspect of it and develop contacts with people like you are in that industry. I think that is because unless you don't know, you can't optimize. Basically, I feel.
I think kids should actually be taken care by the parents. Like you should be well aware of what your kid is doing and what sort of brand collabs.
Yeah, don't put your dreams on the kid and greed to drive you to the fame of that kid for yourself. So yeah, that is definitely kind of important. Also now so the other normally people they've all grown up. We talk about them like if you're seeing a traction, how should you do the deals, your payment agreement? Because many people say your payment ही नहीं मिल रहा है या मुझे like money के cash deals नहीं मिल रहे, barter ही चल रहा है. So how do you kind of navigate through all that?
Correct. So initially when like a nano influencer starts, you initially get barter deals only, which is okay. If you are in an initial phase, you should accept barter
Yeah,
deals.
because you'll not get anything.
Because you get recognition
Yes, yes.
because of that. If you're promoting a brand, you will get recognition, and
Yeah.
if you do well, then the brand will only pay you later.
Yeah.
The brand
Yeah, for the influencer, I was like, this is the marketer is not seen that credibility. You have to start out with, if you day once you're not going to get, unless you're a star kid or something, you're not going to get the cash deals. So you have to start with the barter.
Exactly.
That's it.
So I mean, just don't refrain from doing barter initially. If you're not getting anything, if you're getting approached for barter deals, please do it because that is where you can show your skills. That is where you can show the brand that okay, you can be useful to the brand and you can actually do good integration with the brand, which can work in the favor. And hence the brand will automatically approach you next time for a paid collaboration. Because how often will you do a barter for a similar brand?
Yeah,
Because if they're
it's
coming
stages,
again,
yeah.
if a brand is coming again and again to you for barter, you will yourself understand that I am doing well, hence they're coming back.
Yeah.
So then you automatically ask, okay, now I need to get paid.
Something, yeah, you have to put something.
Let's start with something.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's actually a good start if you're getting barter.
That's it. The awareness campaigns that are made, is it those are cash? Like say, if I'm having a campaign, have say 100 influencers, and I'm approaching and just for awareness, they have a small following in a few thousand. Those are paid.
Everything is paid.
Yeah.
Normally, it depends. Now, if it's
Yeah.
barter, normally barter is something that you get in return. If it's
Yeah.
a good valuable amount, like or something, a tech product or something,
Yeah.
the people
Because I've seen like people on Insta say 5,000 का भी following है. They are showing some big brand का कोई बड़ा product launch हुआ है and you are seeing that they बहुत के उसमें होता है Instagram पे.
obviously they do get these are majorly barter. If you see a product value which is very good in worth, that is normally a barter collaboration.
Yeah.
If it's happening in bulk, because if
Like a huge brand and very small audience, then
Correct.
generally you would say it's a barter. Yeah.
Otherwise, these bulk campaigns also happen in paid as well. Obviously, the amount varies, but
Yeah.
both type of collaboration happens, paid and
That's
barter.
right. Then maybe in those cases where they're paying cash, the following may be less, but maybe engagement is more. He's bringing something more to the table. That's right. So Shweta, in terms of like what you actually work, you anything you want to talk about, any successful say campaigns you did or something you have really you feel is something it's coming on your resume, something you really talk about. Ki, this is something I pulled off and I feel proud about that.
Yeah. Obviously, so there are challenges every time in every campaign, but there's one campaign that I always put across when it comes to, saying that how credible I am for this career or for this field. So there was a brand campaign which I did for an e-commerce brand, and therein we had to do a campaign for their sales, which was upcoming sales, and we had to do a pre-bus on that. The sale is coming.
Certain festive day.
Yeah, certain festive thing.
Okay.
So this happened, I think, long time back.
Yeah.
And that time, the campaign came to me in a very tight timeline. That I have to go like within 2-3 days, and the brand wanted the creator to order the product from their website and wear their clothes only. But now the challenge that we faced here was we were ordering, but the order was getting delivered after we had to take the content live. So the timelines were
Okay,
not being
like
matched.
delivery time says after a
Delivery
week
time
or
was very
something.
late.
Yeah.
So there, everything was very, messy and everything was very in a stressful environment because
Product ही नहीं है.
exactly, and brand wanted to wear that. So
Yeah.
now, and we cannot even go back to brands and say, hey, we cannot serve that. No, because as an agency or as a marketer, we have to go with a solution. So there we went to the solution saying that okay, what we can do is we can ask the influencer to find similar or same outfit from their wardrobe.
And that obviously influences some other city, somewhere else, part of the
People are from
country.
different cities, all the influencers, and it's very because an e-commerce website is very wide, and you can
That's
find something similar in your wardrobe. So we gave this a solution that please you go and find some similar outfits from your wardrobe, which is available on the brand's website, and please shoot with that. So that is how we ended up giving a solution. Brand was okay. We took approvals for the outfits, and everything happened, and we could pull it off within the timeline. So these are certain challenges which you have to be prepared for, you have to be ready for, because you cannot tell the client that we cannot do this. Because if you tell this to one client, you will get a habit of saying this to every client.
And in the I'm seen in the agency space, they I don't know why marketers, I think they also very approach, like, they don't manage their work well. So the agency is always like very tight timeline, and it's like when it should be done by yesterday.
Correct.
These kind of things are set. I think marketers can also organize themselves better for what from your point of view when you are talking with a marketer. What would you feel like is the best case scenario? That this is what I want. This is really then I have a good association with this marketer.
So I think majorly timeline issues there every time. Like brand comes to saying that I want the content tomorrow and I have to go.
So they should plan better, basically.
Yes.
That is the thing.
Planning should be there
in advance
and you have to give us some space or some time to get it done.
Yeah.
Because if you tell me that मेरे को 1 घंटे में creator log करके content दे दो, which is practically not possible. Obviously, we can pull it off if we can do it. We don't.
But it's showing the quality of the product.
Exactly, everything becomes very stressful. So just an advice: if you come with a planned thing, if you know that you have to go live next month, you start planning for your campaign, you start approaching agencies or marketers beforehand so that everything goes smooth, nothing is happening in hurry or happening messy. Because if you have time in hand, everything happens nicely. The content is being made nicely, peacefully. We are also aligned, we have a proper calendar.
You also have a better space, and you also then want to reciprocate that to that marketer. He is also taking care of our needs that are there, not like rushing us and putting extra pressure. Because I feel then as an agency person, you don't look forward to this thing, because it's not like in agency actually you are working as a you are employed somewhere, so it won't be that direct. Okay, I've got a lot of money from this, so I'll immediately rush into it. So yeah, I think you have to when you're working with a bigger agency, you have to look into these kind of things. And actually, if you see now in the bigger, like when I've talked to them, all they have everything set out, like in stone. They have the milestones and how this much time they need and all. And also they maintain that anyway, because they have much higher stakes that are there. The also observe, you see on the e-commerce sites, there is an influencer giving a product review. So ये आप लोग agencies में कैसे, how do you?
So this is very common, and this is very I think it started like a year back or something, like Myntra and all these.
Yeah.
They use Myntra.
Even Amazon general product,
Correct.
even
So this is very
yeah.
easy for Amazon because this is basically affiliates. Like they make customer or they make influencers. They're affiliates. Like whatever product you buy, you give us a review, you give us your pictures, you tell us how the product is, and they can use it. They buy rights from the influencers
Okay,
and they use it on the platform.
So whichever they feel is best suited, they will
Correct.
then
They feel like
feature them.
Yes, they just feature it. They take the rights from the influencer. And because today's time, people recognize influencer. If I see an influencer on a certain website, like I see a lot of them on
Like you're buying a mic, so tech influencer, I'll make.
Correct. It will influence you.
Yeah.
This guy is promoting.
He's talking about it, not like a general celebrity photo shoot and product photos and.
So that becomes more authentic to the customer.
That's right. That's right. Awesome. So then, okay. Lastly, Shweta, then what do you feel going forward in the influencer marketing? We know there have been projections come out that 4 to 5 times the industry will increase over the next around 3 years. With Web3 also, there are different ways where you can directly connect with your audience. The tools will become more personalized. The way, like, obviously it's over the last, I would say, 10 years, producing content is becoming so much easier with all the tools. With AI now, we know what is the capacity of making it. But what do you feel are the things more that are there with AI and with other kind of hardware, you can say different kind of things that are coming, which is like pushing the envelope in the tech space also. So influencer marketing ko or kya, what new things will be there?
I think this is just the beginning. I think this is just going to grow, and the graph is just going to grow up from here. Because as you said, there are tools like AI coming in, where the content creation, the creativity, there like everyone is just getting a support of it. Like ChatGPT cannot make a content like a creator would. But obviously,
इसमें also important एक चीज I just want to this thing है कि is it that the pie that is there is will are we going towards like there will be more people being part of it, or it's like कि the biggest chunk of the pie, very big chunk would be just the macro level influencer and celebrity, or will it how it is going to
in the near future you will see a lot of many people getting into content creation. Obviously, the chunk that is there, that will obviously be there, but that does not mean that they will only be known for influencer marketing.
Yeah.
There are other people getting.
No, like you were saying, कि celebrities का chunk थोड़ा reduce हो रहा है because of successful macro influencers. Like,
Correct.
so is that now? Can they say reverse also, where the smaller influencers are eating into the macro influencer, or
100%.
generally सब बढ़ रहा है? That is also there. ऐसा नहीं है कि कोई किसी का खा रहा ही है, but in general, what do you feel like the opportunities we are just talking about?
Correct. So obviously everyone is growing from where they are.
Yeah.
Like if you see, there are mega influencers who have gotten into movies.
Yeah.
So same happens. Like they are just on the stairs, and they're just growing up, and they're just moving upwards. Like nano will become micro, micro will become mega, mega. Obviously, it all depends upon efforts you put, the content quality you put out, the efforts you put in your content. So it is all going to be increasing and going upwards from here. Obviously, celebrities are also these days getting into influencing. So everything is just going up top notch higher.
That's right. One interesting, I was just having a conversation with a friend. So, why is it that many like the influencers who are coming in the movie, they are not doing well? The movie is not. As of now, we have not seen someone like really getting a great hit in that. Like, is there any reason, like positioning wrong, or just overthinking that they will have that reach, or what do you feel?
See, I feel obviously the movie that they've got is all because of the credit goes
Popularity
to
भी है, लोग इतने आए
Yes, and
हैं.
also they've achieved it today. They have done immense hard work in the past. Is today when they're here, they're being approached for a movie.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I am not no one to decide whether he's done a brilliant job or not. That is on the producer, the audience. But they are getting the opportunity is something that they've earned for themselves.
Yes,
Like their content or their skill, their talent was out there in the market, which was seen by someone, and hence the person was approached for a movie. Now, obviously, until and unless you don't try something, you won't get to know whether it's going to work. Now, if you've taken in a movie, you will obviously get to know whether that person is made for movies or only for content creation.
Yeah.
That happens once it's done. Now, obviously, this everyone's exploring these days, but obviously, one factor that everyone feels is that if you take an influencer in a movie, it brings an entire audience to it.
That's right.
So that's obviously an important factor that takes around in short.
They have to be utilized properly, like whoever the director and all.
Correct.
You can't be कि ठीक है इसका इतना following, just fit him in that role there for the sake of. That's what I think in certain cases it has been the case. Just you install yourself inside. It's like a project making thing than organic way, like that person is suited, and obviously that influencer has to transition into an actor, like has to put in that efforts, because that those are two different things. You can be very popular but acting में वो नहीं है, then
So
वो career
learning
में
process. If you are actually taking someone in a movie, you have to polish them. You have to get them into the character. Everything takes time. Everything happens.
And also important thing is now reverse is also happening, where you have the actor now who proper as an influencer showcase, or they're having now their vlogs, their reviews, also content think. Why do you feel अभी वो लोग भी aggressively उसमें आ रहे हैं?
Because see, I tell you very honestly, this is a money-making source. Celebrities are getting good amount of movies projects. But घर बैठ के पैसा आ रहा है तो किसको problem है? If you're just vlogging something that you're doing, it doesn't take efforts. They also like you're just vlogging what you're doing. If you're shooting, like Kriti Sana recently started a channel. She's just normally putting out things that she's doing every day. So it's not taking much effort for her and also getting paid. So this is just an additional source of income for them. And obviously they are also being able to connect well with the audience, because being a celebrity, you have a gap. But whereas when you become an influencer, you become a little more closer to your audience. You are able to connect well. You're promoting products. You are doing everything.
And your revenue as a celebrity, you are getting that additional revenue. Plus, it could become a primary. If your movies don't do well, we see they're maintaining really the lifestyle is because of the brand work that they're getting, maybe, and now they are focusing more because. Is it right? I think it's right to say that even increasing, that is a common strategy. Like you have a certain million, you have to aspire for the more following and more engagement. So you have to do what an influencer, because he is a master within, but you have to follow certain strategies that they are following.
They already have a fan base. They just have to utilize that.
Easier for them actually.
Yes,
if they can optimize it.
So obviously, but they obviously have a lot to learn from influencers, because the creativity is something that the influencers have, and it is actually very competitive in today's time.
That's right. Awesome. So, lastly, when we are seeing the personalized aspect, what do you feel of services where influencers now, you see now that everything is free, available online, and do you think the next stage is where they are looking at more personal connect? When you were working for the true fan site, so it was like person is wishing you, but now there have to be certain efforts where personalized interactions and all that is should be done, where they have more connect. Like I had heard there was a particular celebrity, as a strategy they used to follow that once in a month his 10 he used to see जो brand advocates हैं ना बहुत बड़े fans, they used to direct have a interaction with them, message here, could even connect with them or something, and they were like thrilled. Like there's a case where one of the friends of mine, he got a message from some huge celebrity and they were really shocked, but one of the marketers, I think, is a kind of a strategy that they do to have a more connect with them, because those then become your brand advocates. वो आपके fan club में बहुत बड़े influential members हो जाते हैं.
That's true. I think a personalized approach is something that everyone would like over an online approach. So being personally attached, or being personally, if you're making someone feel nice in terms of videos, or normally in terms of just replying to your fans or someone you know, if you find some time out, I think nothing like it. Why?
Because if they are investing that time, if you reciprocate it, you are creating a deeper connect, and that growth. Then See, that's what I think in the celebrity campaigns, there was a issue that that engagement, that's why was not happening.
Exactly. It was
Because
just one sided.
हाँ,
They used to do their work and then it was just
it's like you're just
left over.
broadcasting, कुछ
It
वो
was just
interact.
left over. But in
हाँ,
today's time, if you're promoting a product, the fans give you feedback. Hey, I think
hmm,
this went wrong, or you could have done this. So that helps the creator or the person also to understand, okay, I think I can make it better next time, or I can,
that's right.
incorporate this feedback in next time. So this is like a two, so both ways
Yeah,
approach.
it's like what Shahrukh the AMAs he does on Twitter.
Yes, correct.
You can reply to
He keeps
anyone.
replying,
Yeah,
exactly.
even
He
a
keeps replying.
certain I have
Yes.
saw certain rude person also he'll reply, give a
Yes,
dignified.
yes.
So you also feel
That's what
like that
making
is
him connect now. Everyone is engaging with him just to get a reply.
yeah.
And he is
So
replying.
for engagement.
So that is actually building his
That's right. I
connections.
could be the lucky one to
Yes.
get this thing. Yeah.
So that's actually happening, and it's good if you take
Yeah.
out some time to reply or to do something personalized for someone. Nothing like it. You just make your bond stronger and better.
That's it.
Yes.
Awesome. So then I think it's been a great interaction here with Sweta Singh, and we covered quite a lot of interesting aspects in influencer marketing. So yeah, before wrapping up,
Yes.
anything you would want to say your social media or in general, like where do you look at yourself going forward within this industry?
Yeah. So first of all, the advice, like if you are skeptical or if you think that whether this is an industry that you should take up as a career, then yes, it is indeed one industry that will help you grow in your career, and this is a career option. So please go ahead with it because this will help you grow in a lot of factor. Like I'm still learning and growing, and this can be a very nice career option if you're someone who is good with communication, negotiation, and who's a people's person, likes talking to people. So please, go ahead with it, and this is just a start of this career, and it's just going to grow from
That's right. And social, like on LinkedIn, I think you have become pretty active on that.
Yes, very recently I've started
That's right.
posting on LinkedIn. So I'm on LinkedIn as well as I do post on Instagram, but not that often.
That's right. Yeah, I think even the people who are in the marketing aspect,
Yeah.
you should also now look at putting up your personal brand because that's maybe something the influencers would be looking up when they are social. So that's the way to go. So
Yeah, we should have something built up so that
yeah.
people can go and have a check that who, like just so that they can get to know who the person is.